Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including product confirmations for new products, the Tesla van coming soon, updates on the standard range Model Y out of Giga, Texas, Giga Shanghai reopening, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, an accessory that comes with every Tesla purchase is the mobile connector. The mobile connector allows you to charge when away from home by simply packing it up and plugging into any 110-volt outlet. Tesla also sells attachments for the connector, making it compatible with almost any type of outlet you could find. For many, including myself, this is actually how I charge our cars at home. I bought the NEMA 1450 attachment for the mobile connector and used the included mobile connector from each of my cars to charge them. Under, quote, easy charging in the design studio, Tesla previously said, quote, charge anywhere there is electricity. Most range used for daily driving can be topped off using the included mobile connector bundle. Now it looks like Tesla may be pulling an Apple here and dropping the inclusion of the essential mobile connector with each car. Tesla has updated their design studio to drop the word included. It now simply says most range used for daily driving can be topped off using the mobile connector bundle. It's a small change, but there really is no reason for Tesla to drop the word included from the description unless they plan to drop it. The support page for the mobile connector still says that it is included as standard equipment with a new Tesla, but time will tell if that changes as well. In the US, Tesla sells the mobile connector bundle as it comes with each car for $275 if you buy it separately. Right now, it's out of stock. This definitely won't be a popular change for Tesla to make, but it wouldn't be uncharacteristic. They've dropped things that people don't use much in the past, like moving lumbar support for the passenger side, so if the data shows that the majority of customers don't actually use the mobile connector that's included with their car, I could see them dropping it. It's an expensive thing to include if people don't use it, but still, these are $50,000 to $150,000 cars, and dropping something as simple as a charging cable for an electric car will be a frustrating change. We'll see if Tesla proceeds with this, for which cars it may be, and when it happens, if ever. I'm hoping they opt to keep the mobile connector in there. Otherwise, people would buy their $63,000 Model Y only to find that they immediately need a $275 accessory to charge it away from a supercharger. Next up today, we have new confirmations of Tesla's planned production dates, as well as the introduction of a Tesla van. Tesla and Elon Musk have a long history of talking about making a van, and it's a vehicle many have wanted to see from them. Originally, back in 2016, Elon Musk unveiled his Master Plan Part 2. The summary of this plan was, create stunning solar roofs with seamlessly integrated battery storage, expand the electric vehicle product line to address all major segments, develop a self-driving capability that is 10 times safer than manual via massive fleet learning, enable your car to make money for you when you are not using it. Most of this plan is still in progress 5 years later, but Elon said, quote, in addition to consumer vehicles, there are two other types of electric vehicle needed, heavy-duty trucks and high passenger density urban transport. In 2017, Tesla unveiled the Tesla Semi, and once it's produced, it should bring tons of performance advantages and cost savings to the trucking industry while helping reduce emissions in the process. They now say that the Semi should ship in 2023, a full 6 years after its unveil. In 2016, though, 9 days after posting his Master Plan Part 2, Elon said, quote, the Tesla minibus will be built on a Model X chassis. People density potential is surprisingly high. This minibus is what Elon was talking about in his Master Plan Part 2, and for reference, these are vehicles that carry more people than a minivan, but less than a full-sized bus. Examples include Sprinter vans, transit vans, and more, but they could be going the minivan route. Later, in June of 2020, it was announced that Tesla was working along with the Boring Company to install a high-speed tunnel linking Rancho Cucamonga with the Ontario International Airport. A quote from San Bernardino County said, quote, originally the proposal called for specifically designed Tesla cars, but Hagman said the company is working with Tesla to develop electric vehicles that can seat up to 12 people and their luggage, enlarging the capacity to 1,200 people per day or 10 million plus per year. No details were given, but an electric van that can seat 12 people is exactly what Elon talked about in Master Plan Part 2 and would be considered a minibus. In January of 2021, at Tesla's Q4 2020 earnings call, Elon said, quote, I think Tesla is definitely going to make an electric van at some point. So the thing to bear in mind is that there is fundamentally a constraint on battery cell output. On Joe Rogan's podcast, when talking about solar on vehicles, Elon said, quote, a van, because you have a big flat area, that's actually where solar starts making a little more sense. The last thing he said about it was, I think that would be great, like a van that even if the apocalypse happens, you can still drive it around. Now, the latest rumors for a Tesla van, as well as production dates for Cybertruck, Roadster, and more, come from a supplier spreadsheet. This is from Auto Forecast Vehicles and lists manufacturers, platforms, assembly locations, start and end of production, and more for a variety of brands. If we scroll down to Tesla on page 11, we can see a number of products listed. There is the Tesla Roadster, being built in Fremont starting in July of 2023, which is the first official production date we've seen for that car. The Model Y in Austin and Fremont, the Model S and X in Fremont, and the Model 3 in Fremont as well. The big ones are listed under the vehicle platform Cybertruck. Under Cybertruck, it lists NV48/Everest as the Cybertruck being built at Gigafactory Austin, with a start of production on October 2nd, 2023. This would fall right in line with the most recent timelines Elon has given for Cybertruck production. Then right below that is the van. The Tesla van says it will begin production at Giga Austin on January 2nd of 2024. Of course, these dates are something to take with a large grain of salt, since many factors can delay them, but the listing of a Tesla van officially based on the Cybertruck platform is a big deal. It's also a big deal to see a start of production for each of these vehicles. If Tesla didn't fully intend to make a vehicle like the Cybertruck, Roadster, or this van, they wouldn't make their way onto this report. The Tesla van being built on the Cybertruck platform definitely makes sense, but also raises a lot of questions as to its design. Previous mock-ups of what a Tesla van would look like were based on the Model X, since Elon said it would be based on that vehicle. However, a lot has changed, and now they might be going with a Cybervan design. If it's based on the Cybertruck, it could definitely be a large van, much like the ID Buzz that VW plans to ship worldwide in the coming years. Seeing this on an official supplier document lays out Tesla's intentions, and hopefully that means we can see the Tesla van truly come to be after the Cybertruck is in production. However, on this document, there are a few other interesting things to note. For one, the Model 3 is listed under the vehicle platform Gen 3. The vehicle program for the currently produced Model 3 is Model E, produced at Fremont with the start of production on 7/10/2017. The end of production, however, comes in at 10/31/24 and will then be picked up by the vehicle program Highland on 11/4/2024. This could simply represent a new name for the program after 7 years, or it could represent a large refresh or change Tesla is planning for the Model 3 in late 2024, potentially a move to 4680 battery cells. That's over 2 years out, so it's doubtful that it will land exactly in that period, but it's definitely interesting to see nonetheless. There are 2 different Roadster programs listed as well. Model R at Fremont starting on 7/3/2023 and ending on 6/29/2029. Then Model R2 will resume Roadster production a couple days later on 7/2/2029 until 6/29/2035. Again, these dates could be arbitrary, but they're very interesting to see. I'm most curious about the production date for the Cybertruck, of course, as well as the Tesla van to see if they're planning to make that, but then also to see what this changeover for the Model 3 is. Is it just an arbitrary change to a new name, or is there a big change coming for the Model 3 in 2024? Next up today, we have some more information about the standard range Model Y shipping from Giga, Texas. As we've known for a while now, Tesla is introducing a number of new technologies on the Model Y made in Texas. For a while, people have expected that the 4680 cells would immediately bring all the benefits Tesla talked about at Battery Day. The big concern, if Tesla were to ship that, is how they'd ship a better Model Y out of Giga, Texas, while also shipping a Model Y out of Fremont. How would customers choose? No customer would probably want to buy an older design for the Model Y if the Texas-made one is available. However, we're now seeing through EPA filings, on-screen images taken at the Cyber Rodeo, and leaks from employees that Tesla is indeed launching a lower-range Model Y at Giga Texas first. Tesla delivered the first 20 Model Ys on stage at the Cyber Rodeo, and it's clear now that those included their new 4680 battery cells and come in an all-wheel drive standard range configuration. The specs of that car include a 5-second 0 to 60, 279-mile EPA range and a starting price of $59,990. That's only about $3,000 less than the 330-mile long-range Model Y Tesla sells with 2170 battery cells. They've yet to launch this car to the public, but their official documentation to employees has leaked. It says, quote, "Why does Model Y all-wheel drive have lower range and acceleration despite having the new 4680 battery cells?" The answer says, introducing the new cells meant introducing a new variant of Model Y. We've designed Model Y all-wheel drive to have an attractive combination of range, performance, and price that will be the best fit for many customers and will make Model Y accessible to more customers customers, furthering our mission. Those interested in an even more capable Model Y should explore Model Y long range and performance. We've chosen to put a lower energy battery pack in Model Y all-wheel drive, resulting in the lower range, acceleration, and price point. Now, this car being more accessible to more customers, still at $60,000, is questionable, but the introduction of the variant makes complete sense. It's a standard range Model Y option, which many have wanted, and that 279-mile standard range actually ends up higher than almost any all-wheel drive electric crossover coming to market. Additionally, Tesla is just ramping up production of 4680 cells. While they had equipment on display at the Cyber Rodeo, and we got to see great demos of 4680 cells in person, the cells being put in these cars are coming from Cato Road. In January, they celebrated 1 million cells, so making a version of this car with less battery cells required makes a lot of sense. They can ship more cars out of the new factory and use less battery cells. We'll see when this car becomes available for order, but it will be an additional option in the design studio. I'm personally hoping for a better price, but for now, Tesla can only make so many of them since it's coming exclusively from Giga, Texas, which is still in the very early stages of true production scaling. Now we know why they are going with a standard range option. Next up today, Tesla's Giga Shanghai factory, which has been closed for a while now due to lockdowns, is planning to reopen on Monday. Tesla is aiming to reopen on April 18th after around a 3-week shutdown. With them producing about 2,000 vehicles a day in Shanghai, that means they missed production of around 40,000 plus vehicles. The official word from Reuters says Tesla is preparing to resume production at its Shanghai plant on Monday following a 3-week stoppage, having received the go-ahead from local authorities, 2 people familiar with the matter said. Due to this shutdown, we'll likely see some decent delays for a number of deliveries in both China and Europe. Even after opening as well, they're expected to ramp back up to full production, so it could affect the entire rest of the month even after opening. It will surely impact Q2 deliveries, but hopefully things are able to get back going safely on Monday. I'll be sure to keep you posted on the latest there. Regarding both the Model Y and sales in China, Tesla has managed to make the Model Y the top-selling SUV in China for 2022 so far. According to the China Passenger Car Association, the Model Y moved 74,681 units, which beat out the BYD Song's 73,704. That's incredibly impressive, especially since BYD is such a popular company in China. The numbers here are likely to change after April since Tesla has missed out on a lot of production, as we just mentioned, but it definitely sets them up well for the future. The Model Y is selling incredibly well and the demand is there everywhere it's selling. Next up today, Tesla is facing 2 new recalls. One is a small recall for a real issue, while the other is a large recall for what many wouldn't say is an issue at all. First up is the important one. Tesla is recalling certain 2021 to 2022 Model X's over a side curtain airbag issue. Tesla estimates that this will affect about 50% of the 7,289 vehicles covered by the recall. It was first discovered by Tesla on December 22nd, and they determined the issue and fixed it over the following months. The official description of the recall is, quote, on certain affected vehicles, when the corresponding left-hand or right-hand side front row window is lowered, the left-hand or right-hand side front row curtain airbag may interact with the A-pillar trim during deployment. The interaction could cause the curtain airbag performance to not comply with FMVSS 226 S421. Owners will be notified by mail on June 7th, and service centers will replace the airbags at no additional cost. That's definitely an important recall, so if you're a new Model X owner, be on the lookout for that. Regarding the other recall, it's yet another, quote, recall for Tesla's Boombox feature. Originally, NHTSA issued a recall for the Boombox feature when in drive. The feature would play sounds in addition to the pedestrian warning sound that they saw as a safety issue. In response, Elon Musk called them the Fun Police. The recall covered over 500,000 cars and Tesla fixed it with a software update. Now NHTSA is issuing another recall of almost 600,000 Teslas for the Boombox sound that could possibly play when Summon or Smart Summon is engaged. It's just covering this small area, which is likely a bug, and Tesla is going to fix this with another over-the-air software update. A recall like this hits the news as a recall of 600,000 Teslas, but what will happen for owners is that they will automatically receive an update and not even realize that this has been fixed or needed fixing. Last up today, some updates about other EV manufacturers. Ford has announced the official launch of the F-150 Lightning taking place in right around 10 days. First deliveries of the F-150 Lightning are set for April 26th, with Ford's CEO saying, quote, it's time on Twitter. There's a lot of demand for the F-150 Lightning with around 200,000 reservations as of December, so the real thing to look out for is how well Ford can scale the Lightning and make it truly available to the public so you can go out and get one yourself. It's very exciting to see this truck launch, and it will mark the second electric truck to market after the Rivian R1T. Most assume that Ford will quickly beat out Rivian and Tesla to a fully scaled electric truck, but time will tell. VW is in the process of working on improvements to their MEB platform. The ID3 and ID4 are based on their MEB platform, along with the upcoming ID Buzz. VW's head of sales and marketing gave a presentation earlier this week about VW's EV efforts and noted some particular enhancements to the platform. First is charging power over 200 kilowatts, great to see. Next is acceleration of around 5.5 seconds for a 0 to 60 with all-wheel drive, and the biggest one is a range up to 700 kilometers. That translates to about 435 miles of range, but it's likely the WLTC standard, so EPA range would be lower, but even with EPA, it would mean about 350 miles or more of range enabled on that platform. They showed a full slide of their upcoming ID vehicles, and the two most exciting ones are at the end of the timeline near 2025 or beyond. Those are the Aero B, which many expect to be the car that would come with a 350-mile EPA range if they achieve it, along with the ID Life. The ID Life concept will likely be a shorter range, but has been announced at around $24,000, which would be huge if it makes it to market. It's exciting to see VW's plans and to see that they aren't stopping with their currently shipped vehicle ranges. VinFast, a new Vietnamese automaker, is looking to open up its order books to US customers. They announced their VF8 and VF9 at the New York International Auto Show, and now pricing is in. They are selling two trims for the VF8 with two battery options. The VF8 starts at $40,700, but the longest range version gets a 292-mile range, 5.8 seconds 0 to 60, and comes in at $41,000. They have a few other specs up from there, including the extra pricing for the VF9. However, on top of these prices, there is a mandatory subscription fee. You can purchase a monthly flexible battery fee. That is $35 per month for 310 miles of driving, plus 11 cents for each mile thereafter. Or you can opt for a fixed monthly fee of $110 per month. The annual battery fee is $420 at a minimum, with fixed coming in at $1,320. The VF9 offers more range than the VF8, but the highest range VF9 Eco, with 369 miles of range quoted, won't be available in the US until 2023. Subscription options are more pricey for the VF9. Options like this and required subscriptions are an odd choice and definitely will impact how people decide to buy these cars. A starting price under $41,000 for the VF8 is great, but depending on how much you drive, you will add to your cost with the battery fee. We'll see how this develops and when deliveries first occur. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to check out the latest on the Cybertruck unveiled at the Cyber Rodeo, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.